a quick video on how to export from After Effects. Now, if you've made an animation in After Effects and you save it as an After Effects document, it stays as a live video. So to be able to export that and watch it in full or put it on your slides, upload it to YouTube or whatever, we have to do a couple of stages. Obviously, you can screen record it if you want sort of a way of screenshotting or showing what's going on. So you can do QuickTime Player, File New Screen Recording, and then it will come up with an option to record the screen, and you can draw around the bit that you want, press record, and then you can play through your video and it will record what's happening on the screen for you. So that can be a good way sometimes just to quickly get a view of what's going on in your work and then record it in some way and put it on your slides. If you want to finish the video and you want to record a final thing that is a finished sort of top quality file, we need to do something else. So we need to have Media Encoder open. So you can go and search for Media and then Media Encoder. And basically what this program does is it takes your file and converts it or exports it. And it's a really quick way to check that you're exporting it in the right format and getting it ready to go. So you need to have that open before you export. So I'm going to go to After Effects now that I've got that open. I'm going to export and then add to Media Encoder queue. Sometimes it takes a little while, so it might take a little while for this to load and for it to get ready. But then basically when you go to your Media Encoder, it will appear in this box. And what it will give us our file, and then it will give us 3 sort of things that we can look at to sort of check that that file is exporting properly. There we go. So I've ended up with 2. That's my own fault. So here, my preset is on animated GIF. So you can export these as a GIF if you've got something short. But if we want like a proper video that's sort of like 3 to 5 minutes long, I'm going to change that. So I'm going to go to this little drop down and I want H.264, which is sort of like our YouTube format, which is the video size that we've gone for. Match source is fine. You can click that and check that your settings are right if you want to. And again, sometimes this can take a little while to load. If you've got sound on your video, you will need to click on there and check that it's going to export the sound. If you haven't got any sound on your video, it should be fine. It shouldn't export any sound, but it's sometimes just worth checking. So you can see here we've got export video, export audio. So I've got no audio on mine, so I'm going to untick that because we don't want any audio. Match source means it will come up at the same size. If your render fails for some reason, so we export it and it either fails or doesn't work, you might need to do it again and then go back and untick that, make sure that it's connected, and then you can bring the size of the scale of the video down. Sometimes it renders it too big, so you can do that, but I'm just going to match source. And everything else on there should be fine. Again, if you've got a GIF, you want to make sure that export audio is ticked off because GIFs don't process that. And it's also worth checking that it's exporting the whole video. So my video here is 1 minute and 1 second. You might want to crop that. So depending on where your video ends, you might have stuff at the end that you don't need. So you might have stuff that's not animated. So you might have empty screen. So you can see I do at the end there. I've got empty screen. So you might want to just stop at, let's say 55 or whatever. It's up to you if you've got like an end screen or a final page or whatever. So we click OK on that once we're all happy. And then this last one is where it's going to export to. So this is our file location. So it's really important that you know where it's exporting to. So looking in your folders, going to your student home drive. If you've got a folder for your animation, I would export it into the same folder. After Effects is quite sort of fussy. So you want to make sure all your files are in the same place, all your original images, anything you've exported to use on the animation is in the same place. So it's really useful just to then export the thing into the same folder. So we're going to make sure that we're happy. Obviously you can name it, and then all you want to do is press that green play button. You'll see along here it'll sort of process it, and mine's a short video and there's not much going on, so it's going to now render it. You'll see it tells me how long it's going to take, and it gives us a good idea of what we're going to do with it. Then to upload that to your slides, you need to obviously go to your slides. You need to go to your slides homepage. Obviously with GIFs, you can literally just drag them onto the screen and upload them. If it's a YouTube video, an actual video format, then we have to go through another couple of steps. So we would then have to go to our drive, which is basically our sort of storage that's attached to our Google Slides account. And then you would drag it into here. So I'll see if I've got an example. Yep, so I've got a MOV file here, which is basically a QuickTime file. And I would drag that into here. And then you get a blue box, and then it will start uploading. Then it will give you a process of how long it's going to take to upload. Again, that depends on the size of your file. Now I can go back to my slides that I want to put it onto. And then I would just go to Insert, Video, and then it should give us an option to upload it via Google Drive. So if you want to attach like a YouTube video example to your slides, you can do that here. So you can type the URL of the YouTube video in. We want to do our one that we've uploaded, so I'm going to go to my drive, and then you can see it's got all my videos here. So I think it's that one, and then select, then that will upload on there. Now this might take a little while, so you can see it's sort of rendering it here. So Google Slides has got to process it, so it might not play automatically. It depends how big your file is or how good your internet connection is. Mine's obviously playing automatically, which is great. You can alter other things and bits and bobs, but we don't really need to. So that's how to export your video from After Effects, and then if you want to upload it to somewhere like Google Slides, you can. You can, obviously, if you've got like a YouTube account, you can upload it to your YouTube account via that process.